Halloween
Forever.
Join in if you know the words. It's your birthday, and we want you to have... Okay, fuck it, guys. Welcome once again to another Minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Meg.
I'm Steve.
You guys really left me hanging on that birthday song.
Yeah.
That's all right. I fully expected it.
I want to maintain a reputation here, and I don't want to ruin that with my voice.
Yeah. And, only the utmost... Steve just took a sip of a beer and made just an absolute face of pure dissatisfaction. We have just, well, I don't say we. I'm not dumping myself in with you psychos drinking these just fucking outrageous beers here. Meg looks like she's drinking.
Guys, I need my protein.
Yeah, there are. It looks like bubble tea. Like there is so much shit in this beer. We'll get to it here in a second. But in any case, welcome again to another mini-sode today of Halloween is Forever. We are going to talk, besides just gloop glop beers in front of us here, we are also going to discuss a little flick from the year 2021 called Willy's Wonderland, starring the great Nic Cage. I literally just got done watching it 5 seconds before Meg knocked on my door. So it is fresh in my memory. The fucking song is pulsing through my brain right now and probably will be for several days. We've got snackies. We've got beers. I'm pretty psyched. And we're recording in person once again.
Whoop, whoop.
We did not.
And
We did not yesterday. On a Sunday afternoon, everyone is clearly tired, varying degrees of hungover. We are going to power through this and bring the fucking energy. So first of all, we already started talking about it, so it's a natural transition. I'll talk about the beer I'm drinking because I'm drinking just regular beer. Surprise, drinking another Oktoberfest. This is a Western Pennsylvania old standby in the Oktoberfest style, Penn Brewery Oktoberfest Lager beer. Just had a little sip of it first time, and you know what? I'll give it another chance.
Yeah, give it
Let's
one
give it
more.
another chance. All right, hold on.
We're waiting.
Still not great. It's not bad. It's fine. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But it is okay.
I just ordered a Dirndl dress, so I was
Nice.
I'm getting ready. Hopefully it'll be here in time.
Yeah, my
I gotta find an Oktoberfest party. To go to now.
I'm not in lederhosen form currently. I'm about 30 pounds over lederhosen form, but my lederhosen have been through worse. They have stretched, they have shrunk, and I even went as far as to split the back to a small degree, and now get a bootlace and put it through like the little loop, so it is adjustable. So it's like a stretchy
I just see
version.
Kate putting her foot on your back and pulling the string.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
not flattering. If before I wear them to any type of event, I have to wear them around the house for a good 3 days just to stretch them out. Because
they sit in the closet all year.
they sit in the closet, they get really comfortable, and then I get in there and just
Guys,
push them to maximum
that just
capacity.
gave me a great idea for a horror movie.
Yeah,
And I'm already putting a TM on this.
yeah. Slacks. It's already done. It's called Slacks.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we talk about that. But no, lederhosen that then just conforms to you, and then you're just this crazy German psychopath killer, and you're just chucking
And you're doing it at Oktoberfest.
At
It's like
Oktoberfest.
Hellfest.
Yeah.
But it's a possession type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is, and it's not German, but there is I think they're called corpse pants.
Yeah.
And some crazy fucking Viking made pants out of people's skin.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's intense.
But yeah,
But I'm here for it.
change
actually.
it to lederhosen, make it
Yeah.
appropriate, and they're it's like a group of Americans who went over to Germany to experience Oktoberfest. Their one friend didn't have lederhosen, so he has to go buy Lederhosen buys it from a black market.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Goes
gets-
to like
I mean,
to a
all the
weird part
lore.
of town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's like a lot of lore behind these pants that he
Yeah.
doesn't know until later.
hmm
He was
Yeah.
tricked into buying them.
It's like the Mogwai of pants.
Or maybe he steals them. Like they're not
yeah.
for sale.
Uh,
But he
that would be
steals
very
them because he
American
needs them.
of him.
Yeah.
And that's how the you get the ugly American storyline, and then he gets what he deserves because you know what, he gets cursed. If
And
you
so do
steal the
all his
pants.
friends for bringing a dickhead to Oktoberfest.
I like this. It's part beer fest. It's part Gremlins. It's part slacks. I think we got $1 million idea here, guys. TM. Don't steal it, you rat bastards.
The Spätzle is also cursed.
Hey, can someone
But
just
it
make a
comes with
fan?
kraut.
Can someone make a fan film of our show of that movie?
If somebody made a fan film of our show, who would be the murderer?
Definitely me.
We both are subtly nodding and pointing our heads towards Meg. She's 100% the murderer. If Steve and I turn up dead, you know where to look. I'm on record. She is the number one suspect. Meg
Hell
is the
yeah.
number one suspect.
I'm not saying shit without my lawyer.
I plead the fifth. All right, what kind of gloop glop are you doofuses drinking? Meg, that looks fucking gross. I'm just saying.
It looks like juice.
I went through my stash and I was like, okay, what beer could represent the silliness of this movie that we just had to watch? And I chose the Brewing Project. They have like these Smoofy sours, and that's SMOOFEE. It almost sounds like something Donald Trump would have said.
Smoofy.
Yeah.
It's like a gloop. It's a gloop glop beer.
It's a gloop glop beer. Yeah, I feel like I could definitely have this for brunch or just breakfast, at 4 a.m. when I'm awake.
Do you mind if I take a sip of it?
Yeah,
I have
dude.
a morbid curiosity right now.
It's very thick. You can definitely taste the
Christ.
banana. So I didn't mention what's all in it. So this one is sour ale with banana, peanut, natural banana flavor, and natural peanut flavor. So you can definitely get all the banana.
It's mostly banana. It
yeah.
tastes like banana candy, but then of course it's sour, which
Yeah.
is a little for other fruit. You're like, yeah, there's some acidity to it. Bananas aren't sour.
Right.
Bananas are starchy, and the mouthfeel actually fits okay because this weird starchy mouthfeel you almost expect from a banana.
Yeah.
But the sourness, honestly, and I'm not offended by sourness. I love sour beers, but like the sourness with banana and peanut kind of flavors in there are
I'm not
very
gonna lie.
off-putting.
I think I'll be okay drinking through this one. I feel like I'm a sucker. Like I'm the asshole who's like, give me the banana Laffy Taffy now. I will eat all of
Well,
it.
Maeve, one of my daughters is like that too. She wants the banana Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
We were at an arcade recently, and she won like tickets. She had a few tickets and went up and like, what can you get with the tickets? And she was like, give me all that banana Laffy Taffy.
They're like, do you want all of it? Like,
like,
I don't
yeah,
have enough tickets. It's okay.
Yeah, take as
It's
much as
okay.
you want.
You
Yeah,
don't want
but
a
it-
spider ring? No. More taffies. Keep it coming.
This yo-yo that is the string is only 8 inches long? No, taffy. Bring it, banana flavored.
I know what I want.
yeah. But I feel like you said with the mouthfeel, I feel like it works for it because it almost tastes like you're eating a banana
It's
in
very
a way.
super
weird.
thick and sweet, but then sour, and I cannot stop looking at the chunks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a
Oh,
little.
yeah, no,
It's
they're
not like it's
sinking.
just
They're sinking
hazy.
to the bottom right
there
now.
are literally.
It grosses me out more to look at it than to drink it.
It looks like there's sea monkeys colonizing in
This
that
is a
beer.
science experiment, guys.
Yeah.
This is actually now a science podcast.
Yeah, you are going to be on the side of the road on the way home, pulled over, laying, barfing, shitting, doing something terrible.
Guys, I need my protein. I need my what do we get from
Potassium.
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 I need my vitamins. This is my vitamin beer.
It is. I mean, it looks more like a smoothie than maybe any smoothie sour I've seen in my life. Steve, you took a sip of this beer and immediately made a very dissatisfied face.
Yeah. So it's a very picturesque beer.
Yeah.
Looking at it, it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the Left Hand Brewing Company made Getting Tiki with it and a nitro, and it is a pina colada wheat.
I feel like that name came from like some like middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Like that's what it
Yeah.
came across to me.
Yeah.
Where Will Smith is the most topical reference that comes to mind immediately. Yeah.
Right.
Like how can we be cool?
Oh man, it doesn't work.
What's in it? Like what? I didn't.
So
it's
it's pina colada wheat. So it's
okay.
a wheat ale brewed with coconut and pineapple, and just it doesn't work. something about it is fundamentally broken.
Do you mind?
Go ahead.
I
I'm
usually
very
like
curious about it, too.
coconut.
Is there any left in the can? Can I try that?
Yeah.
It smells usually coconut's such a pervasive, like dominating flavor.
Right.
But it's more pineapple in the nose.
Yeah.
It smells straight like tinned
Surprising.
pineapple.
Yeah.
Like can of pineapple rings.
I'm a little surprised too.
I just
'cause
smelled the microphone.
I
You
bet
see
you.
that? I don't know why.
I bet you they put like a flavoring because down the nose it's like so prominent.
Oh boy. Yeah, the coconut is like a weird dried coconut thing.
Yeah. It's not toasted and it's
So
not sweet.
No, it's a weird dried coconut type of character that almost is musty in nature,
Right.
maybe. It's
Did they leave it in with the hair on it?
But I almost feel like I'm
pulling
drinking
hairs out of
coconut
it.
water in a way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. But I also, what turned me off the moment I took a sip was that it's a nitro beer as
Mhm.
well that I feel like is not helping.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's not-
it's
I
not
want
helping
that
the acidity you
effervescence or just,
expect
like-
from
or
pineapple.
I want something that's like refreshing and even like those characteristics already kind of have that. But like when you take away any carbonation, I feel like it ruins the idea of like this is a refreshing beverage.
So the reason why I picked this one up is because Left Hand has another one, a White Russian version
Mhm.
that and it has like a reference to the Big Lebowski on it and everything. But yeah, it's super good. The White Russian.
I could see that.
It is. Yeah, it's really really good. So I figured if they're doing like cocktail series,
Sure.
pina colada,
Mhm.
and I was expecting like a real goofy, artificially. I was actually expecting something more artificial and candy like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like it tastes more natural, but it, like you were saying, Meg, it tastes like coconut water.
Yeah, that was a good point. It's got that earthiness
Yeah.
of coconut water, whereas I just want almond joy coconut
Yeah.
or candy coconut
yeah.
type of thing.
And I feel like the nose, like of having such a pineapple nose, like you can definitely tell that they just used a flavoring in it. I wanted that flavor. I feel like if that pineapple actually came through, like that would also aid it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and weird. Didn't expect till I looked at the can, 7.5%.
Mhm.
Like I was like, okay, if they're going for a sessionable 4.5, 5.5%, wheat ale, it's like okay, go a little more subtle with the overall flavor intensity. But no, it's a 7.5% beer.
But at like 4 or 5, you'd expect kind of like a Rivertown Halakahiki.
Yeah.
At that level, where it's just like pineapple juice that's partially fermented. And
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I miss that beer. Like our people
was
listening
drinkable.
probably don't know. I used to work for Rivertown, and before that beer was like mass produced, we literally made it per keg, and I would just be like sitting on a keg, dumping pineapple juice into this keg, and then filling it up with the beer. And
Yeah.
actually,
That beer kind of put them on the map, too.
Yeah.
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 I feel like it's like the only brand that like since they got bought that they're putting
still
out.
has legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It had a loyal following for sure.
Yep.
But
I heard people talking about it in a Giant Eagle like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
It was it was wild.
you need to go with that pineapple beer. We're gonna make it's
They
a
can't
still a
actually say
preseason
it.
game. We're gonna make some chip chopped ham, and we're gonna get some pineapple beer if you can scout it. This is the first time where none of the three of us. Actually, that's not true. Meg likes her beer.
We
I
just
was
don't
gonna
like
say,
looking
in
at
a
it.
None of the
weird
three of us were really
way.
crazy about the beer we're drinking, but then no, Meg actually loves it. We just don't like looking at it.
Yeah.
It's visually unappealing. In any case, Meg also was on snack duty, so I'll let you introduce this. This is fantastic. This I'm a little nervous about,
Okay.
but we will see.
Listen, I got 'em so I don't misquote this. So of course the throwback Doritos 3D are here.
Yeah.
And this is exciting. This is like childhood shit for all of us. But I picked up the spicy ranch because again, you guys are you're hyping me up for all this spicy stuff. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
How wet is it?
It's not
Not that wet. Okay,
Man,
fine.
our snacks today are not wet enough.
I know this is so dry.
failed.
Who knows? This is in a package. This could be dripping wet. I don't
Right.
know. But the Doritos 3Ds
Could be
are
wet on
probably-
the
Yeah, we're all really
inside.
excited about. I'll
We
let
haven't
someone
been into
else
it yet.
open the bag this time.
honest.
so
We're gonna go
that-
the wetness scale. We're gonna give it a wetness scale, a wetness reading here in a second.
After getting those Necco wafers, I opted to. I just saw this in the store and I was like, "This seems appropriate of like our next step in our evolution of old people
Towards
snacks."
geriatric snacks.
Yeah. So I picked up King Bing Candy Bar by the Palmer Candy Company, and this is a.
Isn't Palmer the ones that make like shitty Easter bunnies?
Sure. I have no idea.
So it's a
Steve is very off put by the
He's like-
shape
he's like-
and girth of this candy
Yeah.
bar.
his nasty looks are on like
When he
point
walked into the
today.
house, Meg had it sitting on the table, and Steve couldn't keep his eyes on it. He didn't trust it from the beginning.
She
Was-
showed it to me.
No, I
She's like, I
pointed, I
found
was
this.
like,
and I was
hey,
like,
dude,
I've never seen this before.
I've never even seen it
Never
before.
heard of it.
I feel like this is some sort of prank candy
Yeah.
bar.
It's heavy. We this is dense. This
Yeah.
is a dense girl.
It weighs.
So it's a nutty, chocolatey cherry treat, and the description on it says the Bang Candy Bar was first created in 1923.
Great.
Since then, this bar actually was probably from
this
1923.
official one was from. This is the retro 23 vintage.
Since then, this unique treat has become a Midwest favorite.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it besides learning more about it. And I don't know if we really want to do that. So I'm excited. I'm kind of excited.
I love that every line you read, every word you read was received with skepticism from Steve.
This-
His eyebrow was just going
You know
up. His-
what? I'm
This
gonna
was
see someone make
created during Prohibition, so people were sober. It's pretty close to the stock market crash.
It also, any snack that was created in an era where every single adult human smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day,
Right.
probably, I don't know, maybe you need to reformulate. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to
Yeah.
get off negative. It might be delicious.
I just want to see a beer now. If this is good, I'm gonna try to.
You're gonna be
I'm
buying a
get-
truckload
I'm
of
gonna
it.
get an R&D on this one.
Yeah.
Change the game. I'm
Fast
actually gonna
forward
take the
to-
idea of this smoothie sour and put this King Bang in it.
Fast forward to 3 weeks from now, and Meg has tripled the national sales of King Bang because she ordered a truckload of it to put in beer. All right, what do you want to do? You want to try these first? You want to do Spicy Boys
Yeah,
first?
I'm not opening a bag today, guys.
Well, the last time you were opening it with your teeth and your elbows, I think.
Ew, the
kinda
bag
sitting
itself
there.
was wet, guys.
You were more doing, like trying to play it like an instrument than you
Right.
were actually eating it or opening
right.
it. Ranch, spicy ranch cheese. They smell fantastic. They look exactly like I remember them.
Oh God, I
Was
love.
spicy ranch a flavor when they first came out with them? Because I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I feel like everyone wants everything to be spicy.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
actually perfect spice. Honestly, that's nice. That's like, I want to keep going after it. I think I might get them next time, but I almost got Slim Jim has their own version of like chicharrones, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
it was like spice level 1 million type shit. Like, I was like, that just like
Nice.
sounds spicy. I don't know if I can handle that today. I don't know if
Yeah.
any of us can.
We've had this. A spicy Slim Jim is legit spicy generally.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with hot pork rinds.
Oh, yeah.
so good.
I love
I just
pork
love
rinds.
pork rinds so
Me
much.
too. All right. Do you want to do the honors?
Yes,
It is
absolutely.
so
I think I'll be able to be
alarmingly
quiet
heavy.
opening this bag.
When you-
Okay.
I,
feel
just
like I'm
picked
just
it
gonna,
up and it
like-
was like startling how heavy it was.
Okay, I feel like the proper way to
don't
serve
wanna
this
look
is like
into the
plop
bag.
each one in front of us. Like,
That,
No. Oh,
that's either shit or
it's-
no bake.
Oh no. It's prolapse. That's
It's either a shit or a no bake.
the way I need to describe the visual here because Meg is walking around. She is squeezing what can only be described as nutty turds out of a bag and plopping them in front of us. Oh, and then the bag, I'm looking at the inside of the bag she's flopping it out of, and it's all covered with the chocolate on the inside.
Yeah, and
It's just,
it smells like old chocolate too.
it literally looks like a pile of shit. Oh my God. Oh no, Steve
Wait.
took a bite, showed it to me, and it is bright pink on the
Okay.
inside.
cheers, guys.
Oh my God. All right.
That is
Oh
definitely
my
some
God.
old people fucking candy.
Wow. Chewier than I was expecting.
I like there's like almost this tartness to it as well.
I do not hate that. It's the most unappetizing looking candy I've ever seen in my goddamn life. But it's not bad. And the cherry's starting to come through.
You can definitely tell this was Depression era bullshit
Yeah.
because they made this weird cherry fondant and then rolled it around in shitty nutty chocolate
Yeah.
and said, I don't know, do we have a mold for this? No.
The
Because it's
original,
the 1920s.
they were handmade. Yeah, they were definitely hand rolled. And the original name were probably like Nut Plops or something. Like they had some really
Something super literal, yeah.
but they taste like cherry cordials a little bit.
Yeah. I was actually gonna ask if you guys like those.
Like
'cause
they're
I
not
actually-
as
I like
wet
them
on
a
the
lot.
inside. I really expected this thing to
Ooh.
just juice all over. Oh my God, Meg, don't drink that. Oh Christ, it's separating.
I just poured
Look
more
at
of
it
the
dropping.
smoothie into my glass, and it was all like banana pure.
Whoever made this beer should be ashamed of themselves.
This goes together like bananas and water.
It looks like you made banana salad dressing and you poured it in a glass. Okay, listen.
I
As
think I'm
a
gonna drink this out
beer
of spite.
quality professional, I need to tell the brewing project that you should be ashamed of your fucking self. That is disgusting. It just plopped out of the glass.
Where are they from?
I want
Hell, the seventh layer of hell.
Because you want to throw blame on them, but whatever town they're in, you blame the people who drink there.
I guess so.
For-
My
for-
God.
Wisconsin. I thought it was Wisconsin.
So you
Somewhere in
blame
the Midwest.
Wisconsin for
Mhm.
wanting
Hey,
banana aioli.
let's go easy. We need to make sure the cheese keeps coming. Okay.
Okay, I'm into the cheese and the meats,
Yeah.
but I'm not into people who want banana aioli in a can.
You can spread that on toast.
Yeah.
Hey,
100%. If you got a crostini and you scoop some of that out on a butter knife, you could spread it on it.
Every time I'm gonna take a
Oh
sip, I'm
my
just gonna
God.
stare at you.
Well, and also I just feel like if you didn't, you would have like a thick mustache of it. That's how dense it is and gloop.
Man, I didn't eat breakfast, so this is perfect.
Okay, King Bing, I'll give you that. King Bing was actually pretty tasty. I will absolutely fuck with the King Bing, but that beer makes me want to die.
I honestly could not eat another one of those.
They're so rich.
They're heavy.
That's a heavy and like
But I can definitely eat
super
more Doritos.
sugary. It is.
It's
Yeah.
extremely sweet.
Yeah, like you were supposed to split all three of those between your family.
Yeah.
In fact,
It was a
But
meal.
each one goes into a quarter too.
Yeah.
Because their family had 20 people in
Yeah.
them.
It is
the
a
father got
yes.
one, the mother got the other, and then the 12 children split the third.
Yeah. It is dense.
People,
Jeez
like-
Louise.
We're like wrestling over who got the cherry nougat.
Yeah, is that what it is? Is it nougat inside?
I think it's like a fondant.
Is it? It was
Yeah.
good. It was
It's very
chewy.
sweet.
Listen, I was pleasantly surprised by the King Bing. I'm not gonna lie. Search it out. Seek it out. If there's not already a King Bing beer, I'll be fucking blown away. There's got to be somebody's probably already put that in beer already. But in any case,
It's probably in the Midwest.
well, in any case, snacks 2 for 2. But
we
I
start rating
still
them?
may
Should we rate
barf. What's that?
Should we rate them? Like, I feel like
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I like that. The Doritos 3D on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to go back for another. You know what? Why not? I'm going 7. I think 7. I'll put it this way. I'd rather just have I'd rather have a Dorito.
Mhm.
But it's still all right.
I like them because I don't like I always am breaking chips, so they're like perfect size. So I'm okay with a 7 for many other reasons than just like it's just a Dorito.
Yeah.
But and also it has a different consistency than a normal Dorito. It's definitely corny.
It's
but
way cornier and it's way crunchier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd go like 6 or 7 as well. Like it's like it's an on the go snack. Like it's good for this little travel pack that you picked it up in. I don't think you would buy it in a big family size bag because you can't dip it.
No,
In
and that's a
anything,
problem.
and it's not it's not usable like a Dorito. But
Yeah.
I wish they would just make Doritos in that flavor.
Yeah, just spicy ranch. Because I like the flavor a lot, but
Yeah.
the texture is not as good as a regular
I feel
Dorito.
like you could definitely it could be a dipping chip if you tried hard enough.
Mm.
I do think that.
I don't want to fucks with it like that.
Let's not get crazy.
It's not. It's not
Sunday. It's a day
not
of
a
rest,
scoop
Meg.
chip.
Yeah.
What if, let's redesign them. So then there's like, it's still a square, it's still a triangle,
Yeah.
but then it's open on the fatter end.
You're talking
That-
about bugles, Meg.
They
But they're
exist.
not
I know.
spicy
I have
ranch.
an-
I
actually,
know.
here's a great idea. You take the whole thing, right? Instead of it being 3D, make it 2D. Just roll it out flat. That would be delicious.
Just single plane.
Yeah.
Single plane that shit, and
Yeah.
you can really get in underneath the cheese
Yeah.
and the avocados.
Oh wait, that's just a Dorito, and it's better.
I agree. Hey, if it was a bugle and there was spicy ranch bugles, I'd be way into those
Are
too.
there other flavored bugles?
Oh yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Because I love a bugle, but they're a little bland. All right, what do we give a King Bing?
Oh, wow.
Like a 4.
That's exactly where I was going with
I
it,
love
Jan.
the
Like, it's,
reaction. Steve's pissed. Meg is contemplative. I said, "What would you give a King Bing?" She goes, "Oh wow,
It's fine. Like
oh wow.
It's
what a
not-
question."
Here's another thing we have to go
Like, I
back to
wasn't
is
expecting.
Meg, you did finally get some Necco wafers. Did you actually try them yet?
No, yeah, no. I'm like,
Okay.
I am definitely going to record this
Okay.
and make a reel, and I will share it with the fucking world.
I want to just watch the life force leave your eyes when you eat it, and you
Yeah.
just realize how
I
miserable
think
it is.
next episode you have to kind of bring them in.
You should.
Yeah.
You should bring them. We'll do them live on the air. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna. But
Yeah.
Okay.
We can record the video, but
Okay.
we
Yeah.
also just want to be here to watch you realize how right we are.
You
about
know
I
how
will
what's
sick-
literally
funny
just eat
is
chalk.
I
while you eat it.
enjoyed. If anyone didn't if anyone's not following me on Instagram, I did a poll and I was like, should I actually record myself eating these? And it was either like show me the pain or
Oh, I
save
saw that.
yourself.
Yeah, I voted.
I appreciated all the people who were. It was actually a battle. Your wife said save herself. You son of a bitch.
I said do it.
Yeah,
I said do it too.
Yeah, no, it was just funny watching. It was great.
I
So,
think. Do you guys remember that show? It might still be on. That was like Strange Obsessions or something.
I don't know.
Oh,
It was on
okay.
like TLC, and it was like
yeah.
people who ate like.
Couch cushions
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember
I'm
the
really
one-
familiar with it, yeah.
I remember the one person was obsessed with eating fabric softener sheets and stuff like that. I feel like Necco wafers are like the Nicorette gum for people who are trying to quit eating things that aren't food.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I eat chalk obsessively. I have a problem, and I eat chalk all day, every day. This is a step down.
Yeah. Necco wafers are the pica substitute.
Right. It's like you're currently eating something that's going to kill you. This won't kill you. It'll make you want to die, but it'll get you closer to real food.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. We should do it
Man, I
on
have
the
so
podcast.
much to look forward to in my life.
If you, or we're just going to be completely off base, and you're going to be like, "This is my new favorite thing." I'm brewing I'm brewing a Necco wafer beer. Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey,
All right, let's get into this. First of all, again, we're a lot of new listeners coming to us every week, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for checking us out. Hope you enjoy the show. We are going to not next week, the week after, or is it 2 weeks?
Yeah. You the listeners have 2 weeks to watch the movies. We're gonna announce for our September Showdown.
Right. So we pick an episode, or we do one big showdown episode a month. We pick 3 topics randomly from our pool of topics that are suggested to us on social media. If you want to suggest some topics, please do. At Halloween is Forever on Instagram, at Hallow Forever on Twitter, Halloween is Forever podcast on the Facebook group, or Halloween is Forever pod at Gmail. Let us know, and we'll add it to our list. But we randomly select 3 from that list every month. We put them on social media. People vote on them. This month, or we voted for September, and the topic we arrived on and announced last week is modern slashers, which we determined to be 2000 to present. So with that being said, it's time to talk about what our movies are going to be, to announce those movies so that folks,
before we
might
dive
feel
too
good
far
about
into
it.
that, I have to make a very clear statement. There is a vintage classic pumpkin light over here in the room that we're sitting in.
Oh, my glow mold,
and,
yeah.
And Brian, I'm going to smash your face with it on the next episode.
That is literally going to be thrown in the middle. It's no holds barred. Balls count anywhere. Ladders, chairs, hardcore rules. We're literally going to bring I'm bringing a giant eagle bag full of tacks. We're going to throw them out on the table. Somebody's getting power bombed into the tacks.
I think I'm just going to use a bag of these king bings and just start throwing them at people.
Oh yeah, you do some damage with a goddamn King Bing. King Bing, doesn't it sound like somebody from the Mario universe?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the Nintendo universe.
It
King
sounds
Bing.
it sounds like somebody he fights
Yeah.
like before he gets to Bowser.
It's like King Bomb and
Yeah.
all those guys.
hey, it's a king of Bing.
It's a King of Bing. It's me, King Bing.
Just poops out king bings.
Yeah.
Well, we did
Oh God, that's disgusting.
we both did Luigi as King Bing
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes. New Mario universe character, King Bing. So who wants to go first? Who wants to announce what their movie is for
I actually feel like I've told you to, but I don't think in our text message you guys did not fully tell me.
No,
so
we
I
were
wanna
down
hear
to one.
yours first.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve,
Yeah.
you want to go first? You want
You
me
guys
to
got
go
the
first?
upper hand here.
I can go first.
All right. What is your movie going to be for September?
So yeah, kind of like what Meg was getting at. We all were kind of jumping between like 2000 to now is a lot,
It's a big chunk of time.
and we all had a whole bunch of picks. And I narrowed it down to Hatchet from 2006 and The Town That Dreaded Sundown from 2014.
The remake of it. Yeah.
Just went back and forth. They're two completely different films, but I think the more modern representation of a slasher is The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yeah. It's a cool.
Like
one.
Hatchet is a super great old school film, and it has like I love Tony Todd's fucking 3 minutes in it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And there's so many other like references and like just people who pop up, but it is also just solely made like an old school slasher. So it's really not that modern.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it since it came out, so I'm excited to rewatch it.
Never seen it.
Town of Dreaded Sundown will be my pick, and it is. I think it's great because it's not. The director is not a horror director. Like he went on to like direct Limelight and a whole bunch of other like non-horror films.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's incredibly well made. So we'll get into that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So I was kind of back and forth. Same thing. So I'll tell you the ones that I was kind of down to. I narrowed it down from a list of probably 15 down to like 8, then down to 3. And the ones that I was kind of back and forth on are a movie which is probably the least known one out of the lot, which is called Hush from 2016, but it's Mike Flanagan. Many of you may have saw it on, I think it was on Shudder, and it kind of developed a little bit of a following there and got some talk around it, but not a ton of fanfare. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which is very meta take on a slasher. I think, didn't Joe Bob do it on the last drive-in? I'm pretty sure he did. I might be imagining that.
I think he did, but I'm not sure because I don't even have Shudder.
Yeah,
it just might have been something I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it on there, but I've seen it when it came out as well, and I've really liked it ever since then. And then You're Next, which is the other one, which I think a lot of people think of as like kind of a modern slasher, although not a pure slasher. Is a little bit. There's kind of some other stuff involved with it. In any case, I decided to go with what I thought was the most true to the slasher genre, but also putting its own kind of modern spin on it. And I'm going to do Mike Flanagan's Hush from 2016.
Interesting. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, so it's really good. And like I said, I feel like it doesn't get the fanfare that it deserves, like with some of these other modern slashers, because when I was looking, I was like, oh, it's just because it came out in like 2019, so it's pretty recent. And then I looked, I was like, no, it came out in 2016. And I feel like more people should be kind of talking about it. But Mike Flanagan obviously did like Dr. Sleep and Gerald's Game and The Haunting at Hill House and all that stuff. So he has definitely garnered enormous amount of new notoriety in the last 5 years. And this was like right before that.
He knows how to do ghosts, but does he know how to do slashers?
We shall see. I really enjoyed it. So.
I'm glad you chose that one though too, because I do like it. So it'll be good to revisit it and especially compare it to the other ones. What I liked about too, that I feel like it was cool about doing this, is that we're so many good picks during that time, but then we were able to like narrow it down based on this wasn't fully representative of that.
I know, that was the thing. I had a bunch of movies and I was like, well, this is kind of a home invasion movie. This is kind of more of a haunted house kind of jump scare type of movie. And then back and forth, and just like, that's why I land on Hush. For better or for worse, it might not be the most strategic of plays, but I do feel like it's more closely resembles like a new age slasher.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Meg.
Oh, no. If you've come
I was just going to say, I went back and rewatched a whole bunch of stuff just because I thought it fit, but I had to check to see if it was still good or not. Like, I rewatched The Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah.
And it's all right, but it doesn't.
It's fun, but
it doesn't work. And then
doesn't hold up as well.
I tried rewatching High Tension.
Yeah.
And there's just one thing in that film that like drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And I just can't defend it.
You're Next. I rewatched because that was going to be my pick. Like I was pretty confident I was going to go with You're Next. And then I remember Rise of Leslie Vernon and I was like, that's more, it's a little too meta. You know what I mean? It's very like fourth wall breaking, kind of, it's like a weird meta take on a slasher more than it is actually a slasher movie, like because it's mockumentary style and all that stuff. But You're Next, I was like, that's gonna be my pick. I went and rewatched it and I was like, This feels more like a whodunit home invasion movie than it does a slasher, although it certainly has slasher elements. So yeah, it ended up changing my mind kind of last minute based on that. But
Yeah.
All right, guys, drum roll. Save
let's
the
hear
best
it. Let's hear it.
fucking
Let's
last.
hear it. Let's hear it.
I am officially going with the remake of Maniac. So the one that
Yeah.
Elijah Wood was in. I'm super excited to even rewatch it because I haven't watched it in a while. But like when I was like figuring out, I'm like, that movie struck me so much. Well, the first time I saw it, that I'm just like, yes, boom, let's go.
I do not, and I was kind of back and forth on it because I was like, oh yeah, I kind of know that movie. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't think I've actually seen it.
The remake or the original?
The remake.
Okay.
I've definitely seen the original a lot of times.
Yeah,
but
I haven't seen the original, but I think during like as we prepare, I'm definitely gonna watch both to kind of.
I watched the original after I saw the remake.
Okay.
Just for comparison's sake. Which I actually haven't done with The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I haven't seen the original of that.
It's so different.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's
I'm
like
sure it is.
PG-13, I think, even.
Or
maybe it was too early for PG-13, but it definitely felt like that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, because it predates Friday the 13th even, and so there probably wasn't even the PG-13 rating. But with Maniac though, that one was on my list. But you said you were going to do it, so I was like, okay, I can give that up and go back to. I can narrow my list down, but like that, it's a really arty take on a slasher, which is
Brian,
what I
did you
really
hear
like.
that?
It's really
That was on his list.
it was on.
Well, Brian, I also had your
I'm
next
just
and
trying
Lizzie
to build
version.
alliances here, bud.
She's planting seeds 2 weeks out already. That's like somebody calling shotgun in the car 3 days before you leave for vacation, Meg. No, I haven't seen it. I think it's Elijah Wood, right? Yeah. Elijah Wood's fantastic. I'm sure it's great. I don't think I've seen it, but I've seen it. Just in my mind, I'm eager to see it because I've seen the original tons of times. I love the original, and it's just one of the most gritty movies that I come to mind. You know what I mean? When I think about slasher movies, like Maniac is it. But I'm like, on one hand, Joe Spinell, and on the other hand, Elijah Wood. Like they could not be more dissimilar from like an acting style and a maybe not acting style, but certainly an aesthetic look. Like they just are so different. So I'm eager to see how much it.
So wait,
compares.
Meg, have you seen The Town That Dreaded Sundown? Or? Oh, okay. So now the way it is like we each have not seen one of the films.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Brian's. You haven't seen mine. And Brian hasn't seen yours.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
We're in a Mexican standoff of staring at each other right now.
First watches.
It says Spider-Man.
We're all giving each other side eyes in a very suspicious way right now. So, yes, if you want to get an opportunity to go out and watch those movies before we discuss them, which will be the first Monday in September. It'll be that first full week in September, that Monday. That episode will drop. We will talk about all those movies at length. We'll argue about them. We'll pick each other's arguments apart and then ultimately vote on who gonna take that fucking strap home. Spoiler alert. Your boy's taking home again. You were going to say spoiler alert again?
Yeah, I was going to say spoiler alert. It's going to be me.
That's become a podcast catchphrase. Spoiler alert. Well, that'll be fun. So cool. Anything else before we jump into this movie? I think we got all the housekeeping stuff out of the way at the beginning. So let's talk real quick about this Willy's Wonderland. Is this the first time you guys watched it, or had you seen it before?
I'd seen like half of it.
Okay.
And then fell asleep on it and then hadn't come back to it until we...
It was my first time.
Mine too, and I literally just watched it. I wanted to, and I was just a crazy weekend, so I didn't get a chance to watch until right before we recorded here, but I wanted to watch this and back to back with the Banana Splits movie that came out a couple years ago, because I haven't seen that yet either. And I think that's a similar. Is that about like kind of animatronic creatures coming to life too? So
strangely, like the Banana Splits was based off an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah, I remember the Banana Splits, the cartoon,
right? And then they
like the 70s, right?
Yeah, and then they readapted it for the animatronic kind of dolls that come to life. Yeah, which both that and this film are basically takes off of a video game franchise called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
and it just, I guess they've never taken the time to get the property or licensing. But
I can't
everybody
believe there's not a
jumped on it.
Five Nights at Freddy's movie because it's super popular amongst like kids. I've never played the game, but I get the concept of the game, and I think I've seen like my nephews play it or something like
Right.
that. And it's basically you're in a overnight at a Chuck E. Cheese type establishment, and animatronics things start coming to life, and you have to like keep the camera on them because they only move when the camera's not on them or something like that. So I've seen them play it. It looks pretty fun. I can't believe they haven't done anything with it. I mean, we got a freaking Battleship movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you not do a property based on this? We got a fucking Assassin's Creed movie and all this bullshit. In any case, this one is directed by Kevin Lewis, and I was looking through. I don't know much about him, and I'm looking through. I do not think I've seen any other movies by him. He's got a lot of writing credits, and just kind of looking through IMDb, nothing popped out at something that was familiar to me. So I'm pretty sure this was a first time introduction to Kevin Lewis for me. So yeah, the premise is, so the reason that this sucked me in, the reason I wanted to watch it, and probably wouldn't have been terribly excited to watch it otherwise, is it stars the great Nicolas Cage.
Hell yeah.
Which is one of my fucking favorite human beings of all time. I'll watch anything with Nic Cage.
I had to like really question whether or not this was like a movie or a commercial for Rogaine, for like beard Rogaine, because that's what I really felt like. With his
beard in the movie looks like it's painted on a little bit.
Like he just got a fresh paint of Rogaine.
Yeah. Not Rogaine.
What is what is the dye?
Yeah,
what is the dye?
Just for men.
Just for men.
Just for men the shit out of it.
Yeah, he literally just combed in the Just for Men.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if he would have went for that salt and pepper, a touch of gray Just for Men, it might have looked a little better. But man, that just reminded me of those Just for Men commercials where it was like, your stash is trash.
I feel like he might have been a robot in this movie, and I feel like since we do, obviously we'll have to get into how much we don't know about him, that I just want to make up all the stories, and I think he's a robot.
I think Nic Cage, not just the character, which doesn't have a name, all I could see on MDB was just called Janitor. Nic Cage, I think in real life there's like a 60% chance he's an alien. I
would definitely go with that, and I'm actually okay with it.
Yeah, he's so fun. I'll watch it fucking anything with Nic Cage. But so premise is Nic Cage kind of gets sucked into this kind of trap of sorts that this small town sets up because they are being controlled to a certain extent by this Chuck E. Cheese type of establishment that is long since closed, abandoned, but is still full of these living creatures that are represented by these animatronic dancing puppets, mechanical puppets that come to life and are sentient and murder people. And we'll get into like the back. I love that they didn't shy away from the lore behind that.
Right.
You didn't learn shit about Nic Cage.
No.
But you learned a lot about the lore of these puppets and Willy's Wonderland, which is the name of the establishment and all that stuff. But that's kind of the premise. So the cold open starts straight off the bat with some off-screen kills, some running scared through an abandoned building type of situation, and this couple presumably gets killed by these creatures. You see a small child kind of huddling in the corner, and then that's all you get. And then you cut to Nic Cage just blasting through the countryside in his Camaro SS, just slamming some tunes with some sick shades on, leather boots. He runs over a spike strip, right? And then he's just stranded out in the middle of the country. And what's he do? As soon as he realizes he's stranded and he has to wait for the tow truck, just starts slugging grape soda.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had that in my notes.
Punch soda.
Nothing as refreshing as grape soda from the trunk of your car.
Yeah. He had a case of it in the trunk.
I feel like he drank it so regularly as if like there was a specific purpose to it. Like it was supposed to keep him awake or keep him like, whether it's like the sugar high. But I'm like, what do you need, caffeine or something?
It's more like a ritual almost that you come like to learn. But at the time, you're like, "What? Why is he slamming grape soda? Who knows?" And he doesn't just like drink it; he slugs it. So the tow truck comes, he walks, immediately you get a taste of what type of character Nic Cage is going to be, because he gets real confrontational with a truck. Like he just walks and you look like he's going to chest bump this truck. But it's the tow truck driver, takes him back to the shop. You quickly start to realize he's kind of shaking him down a little bit. He's like, well, you got 4 flat tires, plus you got something wrong here, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to take, it's going to cost you $1,000. All right. Pulls out his credit card. He's like, oh, I don't take that. Only cash. ATM doesn't work. Oh, we don't have the internet in this town. Nobody has an ATM. So you're gonna have to work off the old adage of you're gonna have to work off the money kind of thing. So he gets introduced to a guy named Tex, and I didn't write down what Tex's last name.
Macadoo.
Tex Macadoo. It's a hell of a fucking name. And he's exactly what you expect of. He's got a big 10-gallon hat on, the type of thing.
He is exactly what they wish they could have had from Burt Reynolds or Powers Booth. Either of those two actors.
Powers Booth, poor man's Burt Reynolds.
Right.
That's what everybody.
I don't know. I like him.
I know.
Fucking what is it? My dumb brain just shit itself. What's the Wild West show? Deadwood.
Oh, Deadwood. Wild Wild West.
Yeah, what's the Wild West show he was on?
What's that like gritty version of Wild Wild West without the giant mechanical spiders? Oh, Deadwood. Yeah,
Deadwood,
of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's great. He's great. And he comes in, he's got the outfit, blah, blah, blah. He has this really weird exchange where he said, hey, you're going to go in, you're going to spend a night. Here's my business that's closed. He explains that like, some kids were screwing around, got hurt here, and then I got sued. Now I'm out of business. If you can stay here for a night and clean the place up in the morning, I'll have your car here. I'll pay for it to get fixed. It'll be ready to go. You'll be on your way. You quickly realize you're not going to get much out of Nic Cage from a lines perspective. Mm-hmm. In fact, he does not say a word the entire movie.
Grunts. He definitely grunts.
He does some grunts.
Yeah,
he does some struggle sounds.
Grunts, yells, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, there's not. He does not utter a line otherwise in the movie. So he agrees he's going to do it. And this is the part. Well, we'll get to. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I was like, how much did he know already? You know what I mean? He kind of seemed to know the score very early on. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was just like, yeah, I'm going to go in, clean this place. Look, let me get my grape sodas. And the guy's like, here's your shirt. You're on the staff or whatever. And he throws on his Willy's Wonderland shirt and just kind of gets to work. The other thing was, you'll see this reoccurring thing throughout the movie where Nic Cage keeps taking breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
His whole thing is, I'm working all night, I'm cleaning this place up, and there's a lot of montages of him mopping and scrubbing and cleaning, and then his watch will go off. Mm-hmm. He's got like a Casio wristwatch. He's got his $80,000 car, but a Casio wristwatch from 1991. Anyway, but it goes off, and he goes to the fridge, slams a grape soda, plays some pinball, and that's break. And no matter what's happening, so he's going to take a break.
In all essence, we do learn that he is pretty good at pinball, though. Let's start this list of what do we actually know about him.
Yeah. He's definitely Tommy level.
Yeah, but this is the thing is like the text makes a point at this point to say, hey, make sure you take breaks. You got to pace yourself. And at first I was like, is he just really following his direction super literally? Is that why he's taking the breaks?
Yeah.
But later on, you realize that it's like almost this ritual thing that he's doing.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like almost like he has to, because I feel like at one point you do see him like he's in the middle of a battle and like helping the children that we'll talk about. Yeah. But like then just stops and he's like, okay, I'm out.
Walking out the door, going to the break room.
Need to go play pinball.
Yeah. And it's almost like it recharged his batteries in a way. It was very weird.
Robot.
It's so
he's a fucking Makes like, listen, you're making my point for me. He's a fucking robot.
Here's the thing I'll just say right off the bat. We're talking about Nic Cage's character, and Nic Cage's character is fucking weird within the movie.
Oh yeah, super weird.
And the thing about Nic Cage is he makes decisions.
Oh yeah.
He
sticks to them.
Yeah, he makes decisions and he sticks to them. And I would love to see the original script to this film.
Yeah.
To see if maybe there was like just dialogue and everything. Because I'll be honest, without Nic Cage being weird in this film doesn't stick out.
No, 100% not.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And kind of plain. A
lot of the other, with the exception of maybe the sheriff and Tex. Mm-hmm. And actually, you know what? The tow truck driver wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad,
but
no.
all the kids pretty much are terrible.
They stink.
And so yeah, without Nic Cage being wild Nic Cage, I would never give two shits about this movie.
And just like a lot of the deaths and a lot of they're not anything to write home about or anything. So if you just make it boring, it's, I don't know. And I go back to like The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
That remake that he did.
Yeah.
If you take Nic Cage out of that, everybody forgets that fucking movie.
Yo, 100%.
But you have him, and now everybody goes, not the bees!
And the thing is, Nic Cage will, he will lean in, he'll make a decision, like you said, and then he fucking sells it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to a T, no holds barred. He is selling his idea, no matter if it's him wrestling an animatronic gorilla in a bathroom. He's doing it 110 fucking percent. He's leaning in, he's selling it, and I'm fucking buying it every time. I
feel like that was one of my notes that I put down, is that like I feel like the lack of like personality development was like one of the huge faults that I feel like even with Nic Cage in this character, and especially since he doesn't talk at all, so you really don't even understand him as a character, really. Like you're just like, he's just here, but he's like enhancing almost the boringness that this is just a lore story that happens to be about these like this like culty group of people who are like making deals with the devil type thing and like turning into these animatronic
essentially
characters.
What Nic Cage is in this film is he's the power fantasy of like the Doom guy from the Doom video games.
Yeah.
Like that dude never speaks. He never and he just goes about killing everything in his way.
Yeah.
And you have to find a way to connect to the other characters.
Yeah.
Like the kids, or unfortunately, like nobody else is kind of redeeming. So
nobody, you don't give a shit about any of the kids at all.
Yeah.
But
even the girl that like
Liv or whatever. Yeah, she was bad. She was really bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, I couldn't help but draw a comparison to Red, which is his character in Mandy, which was, I mean, obviously had dialogue and stuff like that, had a little bit more of a fleshed out character, but he was this badass trained killing machine that you knew nothing about.
Yeah, right.
Like all you knew was he was a lumberjack, and maybe they alluded at some point to like military service because of his buddy that was in the camper that he goes and gets the crossbow from. But otherwise, you don't know anything about why he's such a badass. This you even know less.
Yeah.
You just know he has a leather jacket and drives a Camaro.
Right.
That's the only reason you know he's a badass until he starts just fucking going nuts on
and I
dolls.
feel like when he is like killing all of these fucking characters, I think like that is actually the most exciting parts of the movie, because you're like you're just getting this kick ass. Like
I just wish like it felt like they kind of like they kind of like blew it a little bit early with like the first couple kills. We're like, oh, that was kind of sick. And he like when he kills these creatures, they replace their gore and blood and guts and stuff with like oil, basically some sort of internal lubricant for these creatures and circuitry and all that stuff. And he's just like raging out them. And the first couple kills were like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. And then they kind of never got creative with them after that. Like I would have loved to have seen him do some, throw him in a pizza oven or do something crazy like that.
I think the three-way one at the end, like, was it like, I was just like, okay, now I'm here for
it. It was more about the quippy lines of the characters, which they were fun. Listen, this is definitely a movie that it's a perfect combination of the movie does not take itself seriously at all, but Nic Cage fucking does. Like he is in it and he is playing it super straight, and that kind of makes it.
Yeah.
Did you notice like throughout the whole thing, like after he would do a kill and like he had one of his breaks, he would like clean himself off almost?
Yeah, he would wash his hands, he would change his shirt.
Yeah, so routine. And,
it was like this weird kind of ritual thing. But the other person I did kind of like, I thought she was okay, although the dialogue wasn't great, was her character was Sheriff Lunge. She was the sheriff. Yeah. But her name is Beth Grant, the actress, and she's in a million things.
Like Mini Project is definitely at the top of my list.
Yeah,
here.
I recognize her from Mini Project. She has 235 acting credits on IMDb.
Wow.
She has been in 20 things in the last 2 years. Like she works. I remember from Donnie Darko. She was in Speed.
Oh yeah, she was that like really religious lady in Donnie Darko.
I forget
that's right.
Yeah, she was Donnie Darko. She was in No Country for Old Men. She was in Little Miss Sunshine. She's been in fucking everything. I mean, you'll know her face when you see her. I thought she was pretty good. In any case, so he gets dropped off. Tex gives him the rundown of the place, says, hey, have fun, see you in the morning. And he doesn't realize the time, but he locks him in. And then it becomes very, very clear in Tex's communications, and it kind of already had with the tow truck driver, that he's like a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right. He is being given to Willy's Wonderland or the creatures inside for one reason or another. So, you're 12 minutes in and the animatronic puppets are already moving.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. There was like the scene of him cleaning and they're like following him around the room with their eyes, like watching him kind of on his back, which was kind of creepy. But yeah, overall, they get into it pretty quick. It's a fast-paced movie for sure. That you get to meet these kids, and it's a group of teenagers who have some sort of history with Willy's Wonderland. And Willy's Wonderland, as the building, has like graffiti on it that says like kid killers, murderers, blah blah blah, and the whole town clearly like steers clear of this place. They're gonna burn the place down. That's their plan. Did you guys notice Liv is the main character, and then there's a couple, male-female couple. There's there's the nerdy kid who's in love with Liv, and then there's, who else am I forgetting?
It's literally like Bobby and Kathy are the couple.
Yeah.
And then I think there's like 3 or 4 other dudes. I lost.
Yeah, there's the one like dark-haired kid, and you're like, he has no consequence, he has no story whatsoever. The only one I found interesting was the couple, the what would you just said her name? Bobby and
Kathy.
Kathy is clearly trying to make some very bold acting decisions where she's a cross between like Gwen Stefani and like this like 40s stereotypical like Marilyn Monroe style bombshell actress type of thing. And she's talking like that character Kristen Wiig did on SNL on like the Halloween episode where they're at the Halloween party and they all are like, all the guys are like, like slobbering over her and she keeps doing real gross weird stuff. Have you ever seen that? Like she farts really loud. It's like, it felt like she was doing that character. It was very strange.
And she is horny for murder.
She really is too. It feels like she was like, but like I said, there was this weird like Gwen Stefani element. I don't understand. So you start to get this idea. He's setting timers. Every time his timer goes off, he's taking his break. He finds the Willy's Wonderland pinball machine in the back of the restaurant, starts playing with that. And then like, again, there was a little bit of a build-up. The characters are looking at him, that sort of stuff. Then all of a sudden, it was an ostrich or an emu or something that comes up to him and is just like, I'm going to eat your face, and just starts talking to him. Yeah. And Nic Cage, not even surprised.
Right.
Like
he's just fine with it. Like,
that's the thing. That's normal. Did he know? Was he coming here to take care of this? That's what doesn't make
any sense. But it's also like what's intriguing is like, he's not fazed by these things coming to life. He's not fazed by killing them at all. Like, he Mortal Kombat rips that one's spine out.
Yeah.
We could probably...
And then just goes right back to cleaning.
Yeah.
I feel like we could almost make a bold statement that maybe he knew about this town and just, like, knew all this stuff was going to happen.
Yeah.
And, like... was putting himself in the right place or the right time.
Well, and he also had like his little like burlap sack to carry his grape sodas in.
Right.
It was like he was on a mission.
Yeah.
That was his supply bag, but it just consisted of grape soda. But he showed up. It almost like he expected. He didn't seem surprised or confused by his tires being popped, or when he was clearly being railroaded into this situation by the dumbass tow truck driver. It didn't seem weird. He didn't seem taken aback by any of it. It was almost like he was like, yeah, okay, this is how we're going to do this.
Yeah, he just agrees to everything and goes right in.
Yeah, just kind of shakes his head type of thing. But quickly dispatches the ostrich. And he gets a little cut on his face, and they make it a point to like show him like putting what looks like a piece of like electrical tape over it or whatever. Yeah. But it is very much like I was expecting him, because he hadn't said a word up until this point, and I was.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it again.
Meg is just in there. I can only describe playing in the ice. She's making castles in the cooler of ice.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's
I think I need you guys just to hand me everything that I need for
this
this
comes
show.
off of last week of her trying to open a chip bag with her elbows for 20 minutes.
Then we have Steve over here just looking at me like a parent.
His
like,
eyes
do I
slowly
need to
getting
take
bigger.
this from you? I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. So, what was saying? The cut on his face.
Yeah.
I really was like hoping he was going to say something right there because I was expecting him to do the like, no one makes me bleed my own blood or something like that line. But no, he just puts on the little Band-Aid. But yeah, he rips this mechanical spine out in a pretty cool scene. And again, it's all like oil or some sort of lubricant that kind of adds to the element of gore, even though there's no blood. Even though there was no blood, way more effective than the spine pull in Jason Rising, for sure.
Well, this was actually built for that and not just a Spirit Halloween. But
That's true. It wasn't a Spirit Halloween dipped in corn syrup, but in any case, he changes his shirt. He's just not fazed by the whole thing by any stretch of the imagination. And then he puts it in a garbage bag, goes to take it outside, realizes he's locked in.
right.
So, but he didn't seem to be too terribly concerned about it. But this basically turns into kind of a haunted house flick.
Yeah.
Of going to different rooms, and at different times the different creatures pop up, and he just overall doesn't seem that concerned with them because they're presenting to him like it's an anime, like or something like that, where they're like, now we fight, but yeah, they never like
fight.
Yeah, they never like ambush him. He's not never worried about them sneaking up on him or anything like that.
Right.
He goes into the bathroom, and the gorilla animatronic starts basically just announces himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's a pokey trainer. Like he just pops out. He's like starts saying creepy stuff or whatever. Ultimately, best part of this scene, Nic Cage plungers his face. Yeah, straight slapstick face plunger.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm watching that scene, I'm like, this would be a fun scene to watch without music or sound.
It would be.
It would be really funny. It would be like that. That's when oh gosh, what is that? David Bowie and Mick Jagger, doing dancing in the street, but they take all the sound out of it. It's really good. It feels like it would be like that. It would just be like,
yeah.
because they're just like struggling with a guy in a gorilla suit. But yeah, so he kills the gorilla pretty quick. But I thought it was kind of a fun scene, really silly. But again, him selling it and wrestling with the guy in the gorilla suit so hard was the best part.
I didn't make a point to say this earlier. Like even with like how I felt about like certain faults of this movie, I like kind of liked the killing characters. Like I felt like they were fun, and like I said, like they're funny, they're goofy, and I kind of liked.
They all had their own personalities.
Yeah, I kind of liked that throughout. I thought that was really fun.
It's kind of like the that movie 13 Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Where like, and I almost wish they got a little bit more into it, because what we find out is that all of these animatronics are possessed by the spirits of a cult of serial killers that killed themselves within the Willy's Wonderland.
Right.
Yeah.
And then their ghosts possess. So I wish they almost got more into the lore and gave the animatronics a little bit more personality.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because we weren't getting personality from the kids, and Nic Cage is a mystery.
Yeah. You don't know anything about him. Yeah, I wish there was Matthew Lillard and Tony Shalhoub. Frankly, I'll add them to anything. But yeah, it's they did have their own personalities, and it would have been really cool to get the flashback to like how did they become the serial killers that became this kind of thing. So there was definitely some room for some kind of lore building, almost like a Running Man situation. You know what I mean? Where you get all the what are they called in Running Man? I keep on saying gladiators, not gladiators. They're something like that, but. In any case, so you could tell at this point he's kind of here to defeat these creatures. Like it's almost like his personal mission or something like that.
Or he's just fine doing it.
Yeah, but he's like he's doing it in this very methodical way where he's almost like, oh, I'm the guy they brought in to deal with this kind of thing. But clearly they didn't. The town didn't know who he is, didn't know anything about him, was surprised that he, spoiler alert, he ultimately survives. I mean, if you got this far, you're willing to have this movie spoiled. But in any case,
I half wonder if like, I've never watched the show Supernatural, okay?
Yeah.
But for some reason, I think I get the general gist that it's two brothers go around doing Ghostbuster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think you're right.
Okay,
I've never
what
watched
if this is like the super, or what if this is like an uber violent version of that?
Yeah.
And like Nic Cage is hired by a higher entity
That's
to
kind
go
of
clean out fucking ghosts and goblins and whatever.
we got some creepy shit going on down here. It's preying on this town. Whatever, you got to go take care of it.
He's a demon hitman, is what he is.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like that's kind of what I was waiting to be revealed.
Right.
But it's never revealed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely it's up to you to build that lore a little bit in your head, and that's definitely what I thought they were going to reveal. But,
Right.
in any case, at this
He's just
point,
too effective for him to like not be prepared.
I know, yeah, and he obviously is like I mean, at first you almost, because he breaks the sticks in half and he's doing like some taekwondo type of shit, and then later on he's just slugging them, just punching the shit out, and smashing their head off of stuff. But so he, after he kills this one, he just kind of like goes, he files his nails.
Yeah.
Which I was like, why is he filing? Because it wasn't like a nail file; it was sandpaper. He's just like filing his nails.
Maybe he just
plays
has
some
like
pinball.
really bad OCD. Like maybe it's just like a severe
possible.
case.
Yeah, he
of
could be
that.
like there could be
Maybe
like
he's,
some
like,
sort of weird
autistic, maybe?
quirk that this guy has or whatever. Or again, it's never explained.
Yeah. Which is
Man.
why he
I just feel like-
slugs. It's why he slugs the grape soda, because he's not even enjoying it.
Right.
It just is like you said, a ritual.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
just
just
has
curious
to do it.
what this movie could have been if we would have had a little background on certain,
Right.
like say developing out the serial killers and like into their characters, as well as like, I mean, add like 20 minutes to it. Probably could have done it.
That's why I want to
You
read
know?
the script. Like, there's bound to be stuff hidden in the script.
Yeah.
That, or at least the original script, not the shooting script. I don't know.
Did you Google that at all? Like, or look
I
up?
didn't look,
Okay,
no,
okay.
I'm
I'm
lazy.
curious. We'll talk about it.
I wonder
later.
if it was like a situation where they didn't have as many days or because it released this year, and you wonder if, filming got interrupted by COVID in some way. Or maybe not. Or I mean,
maybe
think
not.
about like Mandy. I mean, you never really get much about Red.
No.
Although there's tons of other story behind everyone else in there, but
But I feel like though in that case though you didn't really need like in the case of Manny, you didn't need to know because the goal was that he was in love with this woman and now I'm gonna fucking murder.
because
everyone,
great
you know?
revenge.
Yeah, that was at least a relationship.
He had a
that
motivation, which was revenge.
In this one, he has no relationship to anybody else or motivation.
Yeah.
It's just he's there.
And he can obviously get out if he wants to.
Right.
You know what
Are
I
we
mean?
just gonna turn this over to a Mandy episode
It's
because I'm
just
totally
We'll watch
fine with
Mandy
slowly
that.
going to
eventually.
Mandy. I love that movie so much.
fucking
I think
love
we
it.
end up talking about Mandy at some point in every episode. So the kids show up. They're gonna, continue to like burn the place down or whatever. Liv had tried to do it earlier, and then she got taken back by the sheriff. And there's obviously a relationship between her and the sheriff, which you don't really know, but they know why he's here. They know he's being sacrificed, and they decide they need to try to save him. Liv crawls in through the vents. The crocodile monster starts chasing her through the vents, which was I loved when she like fell out of the vents and he kind of popped his head out and was like rah, 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 rah. It was kind of this little crazy puppet thing. I thought that was kind of cool. And then you get the fight scene with, I think it was Sarah Siren or Sally Siren or Siren Sally or something like
that.
Yeah, but she was a siren. She was like singing this hypnotic music type of thing, although she didn't seem to have any type of aquatic tie.
No,
or
she
anything
seemed like a knockoff of Tinkerbell.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I thought she was like a pixie type of thing, but they called her a siren and she was obviously singing. In any case, that scene was no bueno. You want to try? Yeah, let's give it a little try of this. This is Southern Tier King and Cola Pumpkin. So this is an RTD, right?
Yeah.
8%. Oh, it's only 8% though. It's not bad.
For those that don't know, RTD stands for ready to drink.
Yeah, so it's basically a mixed drink in a can. Already, cocktail in a
I
can.
don't know if I can put anything else in my glass.
Ever again?
Ever
I'm gonna
again.
burn that glass when you leave. That's one of my favorite glasses. Now I have to throw it away.
I feel like
gosh.
I would put it in your coffee mug before I do it. Can I actually just sip out one of you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't. It's
Nice and spicy.
Yeah, it's definitely got some of the mulling spice type situation going on there with the cola.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Yesterday, complete sidebar here. Yesterday, I had a coffee travel mug type of thing because I was one daughter had soccer in the morning, and then we had activities with the kids all day. And at some point, I took my coffee mug and poured a Diet Coke into it. And there's a little bit of coffee residue in there.
Yeah.
And I remembered how good that coffee Coke was.
Yeah.
Remember that was a few years ago? I was like, dang.
They're back.
Is it back?
Yeah.
Aw, see? God damn, you asking you shall receive.
They will blow your fucking palate up, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's intense. Like, I had one, and it just fucking, like, destroyed any taste of anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
This you need this over ice. I feel like would be
I
better.
agree with that. But I also I feel like it reminds me just of a rum and coke.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
like
it's just a rum and Coke, but I mean, it's
I
not.
thought it was whiskey, isn't it? It's whiskey.
Yeah, it's supposed to be their pumpkin whiskey. Pumpkin whiskey.
Pumpkin whiskey. You know, pumpkin and all of their flavored stuff at Southern Tier haunts my dreams.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's like
It sticks in your nostrils and you just like smell it for days.
yeah, I know the feeling.
Creme
I know the
brulee was
feeling.
worse.
The creme brulee. I forgot about that beer.
Yeah. No, but this actually, I could fuck this. Like, this would actually be. I would definitely buy a can and like it would be a nice like fall cocktail for sure. I would definitely do it.
If you like kind of smell as you're drinking it, it's like really folly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost want to. So, like, I haven't. Next time I go home to Western New York, I'll have to like see if they have like. I'll have to pick up like the pumpkin whiskey. That'd be really cool because I
I've never
would
tried
probably
it.
prefer like a Diet Coke with that. And, you know what I mean? None of this cola shit.
Get this cola out of here.
It's
No,
probably
it's
RC
good.
Cola.
Yeah.
So yeah, crocodile chased her through the vents, whatever. The fight scene with the siren and Liv was awful.
Yeah.
They tried to do this weird like herky jerky CGI type of thing. It wasn't good. She's saying a bunch of really corny, dumb lines. And I get it that Liv was probably acting to someone in a suit or a freaking, tennis ball on a piece of, on a
it's
staff
definitely
or something.
somebody in a suit.
Yeah, it was probably,
Yeah.
but they did they added some CGI elements in it,
Right,
a couple of points. In any case, she was acting somebody in a suit. I get it, but like her fighting stance was just like I don't know. It just screamed like kind of Disney Channel live action type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we're like tearing this apart quite a bit. I
No,
feel
I'm
like,
saying,
again,
but
I
like the movie, but I feel like
no,
I'm saying all negative things.
No. But I feel like we've also been just like interjecting how it could have been done better in ways. Like,
Yeah.
But in this situation, I think another thing that could have made it more attractive or allowed us to like connect with the characters more is if somehow Nicolas Cage with that girl, like somehow there was this bond that was created because it just is awkward the whole time.
Yeah.
He just stares at her with a blank stare in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he saves her, but then he's just like, okay, I'm out. And then,
and then he's like, I gotta go back to cleaning.
Yeah. It's so dry.
However, it does lead up to that really funny moment where they're facing off with like I think it's the chameleon and
Oh, in the car?
Yeah, and his alarm goes off for him to take a break.
Yeah.
And he like half can't decide whether or not to take a break or not, and then just gives her a knife and takes his break.
Yeah.
Like that's really funny
I do.
because
That
they
was
just
really good.
couldn't.
I like that.
He just couldn't help himself.
And is that the one where he has the really passionate pinball game where he's
just
dancing
like,
and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thrusting
man.
those hips.
Such a bold decision. I fucking love it. So at this point, they can see that the creatures are coming to life. Nic Cage has already come in and killed one. All the kids fall through the roof into the ball pit. Now they're in there together with Nic Cage. And two of them, the couple, just decides they're going to go to what they explain to be the super happy fun room, which we learn about here in a second. And to go hump in the thing while people are being murdered and there's killer creatures
super
around.
Happy fun room things to do.
Because Kathy is horny for murder.
Gwen Stefani.
Can we seriously call this episode "Horny for Murder"? Please.
Yeah, I mean that decision was BANANAS. That's all I know. Sorry, Gwen
as
Stefani.
I raise my smoothie to you, there's
Gwen
a little bit
Stefani.
more banana puree in there for you.
Oh my
That's
god,
not my shit.
that's not my shit. It's not my shit.
Man, I love this.
I know all about
so
it.
good.
So now you get into the backstory, and Liv tells the backstory, and the way she tells it is so clinical. It's like she's reading a book report.
Right.
It's just so bad. It could have been so cool because I appreciate a movie that's not scared to go into the nitty gritty of the backstory.
Yeah.
Especially when the story's so bonkers. I love that.
Do you know what really sucks though about this, about Liv doing it?
Yeah.
Is that they almost do the exact same thing like 10 minutes later with the sheriff.
Yeah.
And it's done even better with flashbacks.
Yeah.
And it's like, why the fuck did you keep that in?
It was just such blunt exposition, just dump. And she's, like I said, she just sounds like she's reading a book report. It's just, it's not good. And she basically talked about what you already explained, which was they're serial killers who so one crazy guy, I don't remember his name. He was like this prolific serial killer of
It's like something
kids and
Chester
family.
A. Willis or whatever.
Yeah, it's inconsequential. But he starts this place and he hires all his creepy serial killer friends, and they basically run this as like their own little like playground for murdering people in Willy's Wonderland. They eventually go into like bust them, and they have performed some sort of satanic ritual where they are going to get their souls or life force or whatever into the body of these animatronic creatures.
They watched Child's Play.
Yes, they did. They pulled a Chucky. So you get that exposition from Liv. Gwen Stefani acting real weird at this point, and they end up boning in the room. One kid in the other room gets killed by the Knight. One of them is a Knight, animatronic Knight kind of thing.
His name is Knighty Knight.
Is it Knighty Knight?
Yes, it is.
That's pretty good.
And then,
Nighty night, guys.
oh yeah, he could have said that. I don't even think that one spoke though, did he?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he yells out when Nic Cage kicks his ass. But
Yeah.
This could have also been so fun if they all did have catchphrases like that. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have not made sense with the serial killer. Like, they could have probably gone either way.
Yeah.
Here-
Like, maybe they're just like like they're in the body, but they are like the animatronic character.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, can the serial killer's personality come out through the animatronic? You know?
I just thought of something. I have a theory about what this movie was or how it changed or something like that. So, what if the character that Nic Cage plays, and this seemed to be what they were going towards, but it never fleshed out this way, was this idea of Nic Cage was one of the kids from 20 years ago whose family got murdered by them, and now he's coming back for revenge. And I don't think, and my theory is Nic Cage was not originally supposed to be in that role, and it was supposed to be someone younger.
Okay.
And they tried to make, because then they go, oh, we can get Nic Cage, fuck it, let's do it.
Right, yeah,
They
yeah.
put Nic Cage in the role. They try to make him look young with the beard, with the
Right,
Just for
right,
Men,
right.
but he's still like 20. You can still look at him and go, 20 years ago, that guy was 30 years old.
Right, yeah.
he
Still
wasn't
too
a
old.
kid. So I wonder if they just end up going, he looks too old, and they just got rid of that side plot.
But if he was a kid at that time, then like he was super traumatized by everything that happened
Right.
there, and that's why he's like addicted to pinball, addicted to soda.
That's what I'm saying. The soda, because they even
Wait.
kept saying in the song like candy and soda or whatever. So
Yeah.
like that's what I'm saying. It's this thing where like he is.
He developed weird, and
That's
so that's why
actually
he's
a really
Yeah.
cool theory, because I feel like, is there any indicator with like one of the early videos, like when they had like the grave, or like the videos like of the flashbacks in the beginning, or like the first film, like
if there was a kid
he-
with like sunglasses on,
oh my god,
Kid with
Was
a
it-
beard, a
was
full beard
he-
and sunglasses.
yeah, I'm like, wonder if that was him.
like
Yeah, no,
like a
'Cause that's a good
Bad
theory.
News Bears Kelly, where like has a leather jacket
Yeah.
and sunglasses on.
Yeah, riding a sick dirt bike. How
did you get so cool, dude?
Yeah, no. Now I almost want to go back and watch it to see if there are any context
Right,
clues
yeah.
about that. But
Yeah.
I feel like there was. I can't think of any. And they certainly didn't come out and say it by any stretch of the
I feel like if
imagination.
they
but
wanted to do that, they could have done flashbacks during the movie, like as this was going on. They could have like done a couple and that
Yeah.
fix that. But who would have played the young Nicolas Cage? I want to.
You know who could have done it? Ryan Gosling could have done this because he would have been more age appropriate, and
Yeah.
then also he still has that stoic weirdness.
Yeah.
If you saw Drive,
listen, I'll watch Ryan Gosling
What is
fucking
his name?
anything.
The guy who played his last name's Gilchrist. He was in like Atypical, not Hereditary. United States of Terror.
I
Something
don't know.
Gilchrist.
Which you obviously
Keir
get.
Keir, yes.
Keir.
Keir Gilchrist. Yeah, I feel like he would play a really cool young Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it felt like it should have been somebody who was like closer to the kids' ages or a little bit older. Again, like in their 30s. You know
This
what I mean?
kid, this guy looks. He like, even just on a podcast I was listening, he actually has like a degenerative like bone disorder, so he like looks really young for his age. So, yeah, and yeah, but
yeah, I
get
get the
it.
feeling that they were like, oh, We can get Nic Cage. Okay, let's change everything because Nic
Sure.
Cage is going to sell this movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So one of the kids gets eaten at this point. They're picking off the group of forgettable kids at this point. And he comes back in after his break. He kills the knight pretty easily, decapitates him with his own sword, which was great. The alligator, in by far the goriest scene in the movie, eats the couple while they're fucking.
Yeah.
Specifically, the kid, the I forget his name.
Bobby.
Bobby's laying on his back, and he just like munches his guts out pretty much.
Pretty much,
Yeah. Which is a pretty good scene.
It's all right, but you know, I wish they would have went. This is one of those times where I wish it was a little more creative as a movie.
Yeah.
So, like, because that scene, you have Kathy on top of Bobby, and they're fucking around in the happy fun time room, and they notice the alligator, and Bobby's like, let him watch.
Yeah.
And like,
But you know these things come to life, right? We've already discussed
Yeah,
this.
they know.
Why would you think? Who cares?
We've discussed that these things are murderous. That's why we're here.
yeah, and like Kathy knows that is the suicide, cult room.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knows that's where it is. That's why she took him in there to bone, because she's a creep.
Yeah.
But while that's happening, the alligator's moving about the room, and like at one point he moves and he disappears. So I think like a funnier, more creative way to do that would be when the alligator moves out of view, she gets off of him to go investigate. And that's when the alligator pops up and bites his dick.
Oh, see, if you get an alligator and you got a nude person, you got to have him bite the dick. Come on.
That's what we're here for. And then you spit it on the floor, and this is what we look over.
Yeah.
I feel like
Then Nic
we
Cage
just
picks up the severed dick, puts it in the trash bag. I mean, come on.
he would have cleaned it up. I think we just need to. I think with all of our comments and critiques about this, like we just need to make our own fan film of this and like
Willy's
right.
Wonderland fan film. I love it. We just go down to the closed down Chuck E. Cheese in Norfolk Sales.
Yeah.
Bust in there, and then it becomes a found footage film.
You guys might know better than me because you guys have lived here longer. Is there like a Chuck E. Cheese type place that's like very specific to our area besides?
No.
Okay. All right.
We're big. I was a big DZ Discovery Zone kid. You get $1 off admission for an A, 50 cents off for B's when you take your report card.
There was Safari Sam's, but Safari Sam's didn't have fucking animatronics.
No, Safari Sam's was basically like a ripoff of Discovery Zone.
Yeah,
right.
It was Discovery Zone ripoff.
One
you
time,
had a ball pit and one of them shitty zip lines as it.
One time I went to Safari. They did have skee ball. I went to Safari Sam's because it was report card time. You get your report card, you get some good grades, you go to Safari Sam's. That's what you do. We went there. Me and my brother are crawling through a tunnel. Big turd right in the middle of the tunnel.
Oh god!
Some kid just laid a fucking king bang on the fucking tunnel.
That's fucking great. Are you sure it wasn't a king bang?
I smelled it. It was not a king bang.
Okay.
No, but it was. That used to happen
Why
all
would
the.
you smell it? Also, like you're like
I
I need
sniffed
to
it.
make
Because
sure.
I wanted to check, make it wasn't chocolate payday. I saw Caddyshack too many times. I don't know.
I wish I still worked in like factories and stuff, so I could say, "Hey, I gotta go make some king bings."
I gotta go drop a king bang.
Yeah.
I feel like now you should just end every Hop Nation with "I need to go drop some king."
I gotta go drop a king
I'm
bang.
out. That's how we're actually gonna end this episode.
Yeah.
See you guys next week. I'm going to go make some king bings.
I feel like if you were making king bings, I'd actually have to be concerned because they'd be red, and I would have to be like, "You should
you
go
gotta
see
go to
a
the hospital.
doctor."
Go directly to the hospital. Call the ambulamps.
This is our shit talk hour.
Yeah, we went from that's how we do snacks or beer, snacks, horror movies, poop and pee, severed dicks. It's natural
I'm
progression of the
waiting
episode.
for like the dick segment to like be sticking.
Yeah,
We're almost there.
we need to start getting Felissa Rose to come on and be our severed dick expert, like she does on the last drive-in, or mangled dick expert. Excuse me. So at this point, the alligator is just eating the couple. Nic Cage comes in, gives the alligator what I can only describe as a Dan the Beast Severance style Greco-Roman throw, and then rips its mechanical heart out. He like reaches down its throat, he pries its jaws open, reaches down.
Yeah, he gives it the old King Kong.
Yeah, and rips its heart out or whatever, or some organ out. that probably would have been more ideal to do before it killed 2 more kids.
Right.
But this is kind of the thing that you're learning.
It's pretty late to the party.
He's doing things very much in his own time. Then there's like this, which I thought was kind of a creepy, cool scene. I thought we were going to learn a little bit more about this character, but the lizard lady, is she a chameleon? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Starts to play some mind games with Chris, who is like the hopelessly in love with Liv, like little like nerdy dork suck up kid. And then she pretty like she snaps his neck by like sticking her tongue out or something like that and grabbing it and spinning his head around. But then we get that explanation from the sheriff that you talked about, Steve, and why they've been placating these beasts for so long, which I thought was cool. This was one of my favorite parts of the movie. They were like, yeah, we just thought we'd like lock the place up and have them fuck off. And then they started coming out into the town and killing us, like at the hardware store and at the post office. They were coming and like terrorizing the town at night, which I thought was pretty cool. That could be a whole nother awesome movie, actually.
The prequel, for sure. This probably could have done really well as a prequel, like just solely like that's just what it was. Sorry guys, we're tearing this one down.
No, it was. I mean, I liked that they leaned so heavily. They leaned so hard into just an outlandish story,
right?
Which I thought was good, and they explained again. It's exposition, but there was flashbacks and stuff like that, which made it a little bit more entertaining. You get these scenes of like Tex setting people up, like whole families and stuff like that, which was pretty creepy. And then you learn that Liv was one of the kids whose parents were killed.
Yeah.
So the sheriff
it's probably one of the few things
her.
that makes sense.
Yes, it's really one of the only few through line plot points.
Yeah.
That's actually tied together in any real way. So the kills Chris, Nic Cage is, ready to fight, but then, it's break time. So that you kind of mentioned that, turns around, walks away. How frequently were these breaks? Because at some point I was like, oh, it's like every hour. And then I'm like, I feel like he's taking a 5-minute break every 20 minutes.
Right.
At this point now. It's like every time, like something happens, it's like the breaks became too frequent.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like they could have did 2 less breaks.
Right.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. That was pretty unclear, but I guess it worked. I don't know.
Yeah. So the sheriff starts like apologizing to Willy the Weasel, which is the head animatronic thing, and basically saying like, hey, Nic Cage, this character, is not acting on our behalf. And she leaves him with his hands tied behind his back, basically as like, okay, this is a peace offering. Yeah, he killed some of your people or whatever, but this wasn't our fault. And then he fights the siren girl and the chameleon with his hands tied behind his back, or at least for a portion of those times, and then like crushes one of them with his knees or something. Is that what happened?
He was kind of
like. Did you go ahead? You might.
No, I was just gonna say he was kind of giving the siren the Famke Janssen from Goldeneye, using his thighs to crush her.
Yeah. I think that's what I got out of it too. While head, shoulders, knees, and toes played.
But I almost feel like he was doing that as a flex. He's like, look what I can do. Boom. And then instantly takes these off like it's nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was like a chore to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't like, this wasn't really that strenuous of a thing for him. He was like, he didn't really care about the kids or whatever. He's just like, I'm going to do this my own time. That's why I think like he was sent by some other entity or something like that.
Or maybe he was just on his own revenge thing and those kids should have fucked off.
That's probably, that's probably more realistic. But in any case, the new cop buys in because another cop comes from like another jurisdiction to help or whatever.
He's a state cop.
Yeah, he's a state cop. That's right. He buys into the whole thing alarmingly quickly.
Right.
He's just like, oh, she's telling him the story. He's never like, you're nuts. What's wrong with you? He's just like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Every town
animatronic creatures coming to life. You got to play game. You got to feed them.
Every town has one. You have the town joke, the town drunk, and then you have your town animatronic Like
Murder Playland.
Murder Playland.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
town has one. You got your hills that shut down.
Yeah.
You got your roller rink, and then you got your animatronic murder playground.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if it's more like Stephen King's novels. They all occur within 15 miles of each other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Maine.
Yeah.
So maybe the state cop would know that, oh yeah, Willy's Wonderland's fucked up, but then also we got Scary Dog over in this town, and we got
We got the
vampire people.
Chupacabra.
I want to
up-
hear all
upstate.
of your other names for these places.
Yeah.
That's great.
We got the angry, the semi trucks that are over here that drive themselves.
You've got the ancient vampire living in the basement over on this side of town.
You got the RV camp full of the psychic vampires.
Yeah,
I just want a theme park that is solely horror themed all the time, and you have all of these little neighborhoods like that. That's what I want. I want to
it's your
exist.
greatest dream.
Yeah, I want roller coasters that are going through a huge vampire mouth, and you're just going up.
I'm surprised that does. I'm sure that has to exist.
We
in
got to
some
get
best-
over to Vampire Village.
Vampire. I never said the word vampire in a Yinzer accent. It's a pretty good one.
Vampire.
Hey, vampire. Hey, get over to Vampire Village.
Yeah. He's getting over to Vampire
You
Village.
know, we all have dreams.
You
Yeah.
got Frankenstein Mountain.
Frankenstein Mountain.
This will be my greatest achievement.
Fast forward to Meg laying there in bed tonight, sketching this all out.
Frankenstein Mountain's gonna fucking rule.
Frankenstein Mountain's fucking sick.
But it's jankily put together. I'm just hammering
It's plywood.
this
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something Wile E. Coyote would build.
Yeah, yeah,
everyone immediately
absolutely.
dies. So this is probably my favorite. One of my favorite parts was the dance. This particular game of pinball he gets really into.
Mhm.
He's dancing.
Oh,
He's
love the
doing
hip
pointing
thrust.
to the ceiling. There's this whole chugging pop playing pinball montage, and there's a ballad about Willy's Wonderland kind of raging in the background.
Mhm.
And then I love this part. I completely forgot about this just now when he walks outside and he's broken out of the place at this point or whatever.
Mhm.
But he's still completing his job
Yes.
of cleaning and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
He carries another
So
trash
casual.
bag outside with one of the creatures in it, and the sheriff pulls up and he just gives her a "Hey, what's up?" wave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
remember when you handcuffed me and pretty much fed me to those creatures?
Gotcha, fucker.
No worries. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't worry about it.
gives
No
her
hard feelings.
gives her the high sign.
That's so funny.
But and then she comes inside. What the hell's going on? Blah blah blah. You should have died. Now you're putting us all in jeopardy, and these kids are dead because of you. Blah blah blah. Willy rips her in half, just one swipe, cuts her in half at the waist.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I really didn't like about towards the end is that so the sheriff, she shows up to Willy's Wonderland in the beginning to arrest Liv to keep her safe. Then she comes back to Willy's Wonderland when she finds out Liv is in there because she's the kid that the sheriff found and basically adopted her and raised her. So but she never gets this redeeming arc of she sees that Nic Cage has basically dispatched all of them and has no problem
Saving
doing that.
her.
Why doesn't she just turn over
Put
a
some
new leaf?
trust in him. Yeah.
And go, oh yeah, I'm gonna back this guy. Even if at towards the end, Willy the Weasel and Nic Cage get into a fight, and he relies on some kind of lazy distraction to get away, to go get his weapons. But it would have been better if it was the sheriff that distracted Willy the Weasel. She can still get cut in half.
Yeah.
But that would be her redemption arc
Sure.
of sacrificing herself so Nic Cage can go arm up.
Yeah. And it was frankly the showdown with Willy was pretty anticlimactic. They really, like I said, they really kind of feels like they shot their wad way earlier in the movie with the other kills because this one was it was this big buildup. You thought something epic was going to happen, and he rips his head off, but it's he kind of already did that earlier in the movie, so it was a little bit anticlimactic. But, but it's morning by this point. The mechanic brings Tex, Nic Cage's car. Tex Macadoo comes out, does some donuts in his Camaro outside, and they're assuming he's dead, so he's giving the Camaro to Tex.
Right.
Right.
And then they go inside. The place is in like great shape. Everything's all cleaned up. And then did not expect Freebird starts playing.
Yeah.
I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, I guess it fit a little bit, but all of a sudden I was like, is this a Rob Zombie movie that I didn't know about?
Yeah.
Like, why is Freebird playing right now? I was like, Carry On My Wayward Son gonna come up on after this? I wasn't sure, but it was, he had already obviously done. You do see that the siren is still alive, right? She starts pulling out of the trash can kind of thing. Nic Cage changes back into his clothes. He's just like, yeah, job well done. Here, give me the keys to my car. And it was like he gives him the keys to the car. Liv is his daughter now. I don't know.
Yeah.
She just comes with him.
Right.
And then Tex says something as he's walking away. He's like, he's a real badass or something like that. It's just like Catalina fucking wine mixer.
Catalina fucking wine mixer.
There's this weird line, but then the siren, because the siren, like if they would have showed that it was still alive when he put it in the bag 20 minutes ago, this would have paid off more. But they literally showed the siren was still alive, and then 3 minutes later it comes out and kills Tex and the mechanic.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was just kind of the pacing in that on some of those things. Like if they would have let it marinate just a little bit more, it would have been a bigger payoff.
I also feel like because what was there 2 monsters left? Yeah, it was like the siren and the one other like, what was it, a turtle like lizard type whatever.
Yeah, I think it was a turtle.
Yeah,
one with the sombrero and stuff.
Yeah. Like I feel like that led something to be desired. Like what is going to happen to them? Is because Willy's not alive, are they not going to do anything anymore, or are they still going to be murderous fucking characters? And how the fuck are they going to get rid of them now?
Yeah.
Do they still need to sacrifice someone? I have questions that I need answered.
Yeah, did they not know that the turtle was still alive? Did they not count the?
And they did also go after him a bit when they were driving away, if I remember correctly.
Well,
Well,
yes.
no, they run him over and they completely blow him up.
Well,
Yeah.
they do, but I mean, even the turtle had left because it went after the cop and Liv who were in the car before that, and then they like, he made her give him the car keys or whatever, right? And then he left the turtle. She left the turtle on the side of the road. But yeah, so the mechanic and Tex are like excited, and there's this little dialogue about like, oh, if they're finally gone, maybe I'll open the place back up and blah blah blah, and let's go. Drinks are on me. Let's go celebrate. And then the siren had put a rag in their gas tank and lights it, and the car explodes, obviously with them in it. And then Liv and Nic Cage driving down the road in the Camaro, and they see the turtle. And he just smashes the turtle.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Credits roll.
No. You missed the part where he handed over his grape soda to her.
Oh, he did.
That
he
is
gives
the
her the grape soda.
heartwarming part where now we know that they're connected forever.
I don't know.
Even though we don't know why he even drinks the grape soda. Is
Right.
it important? Is it not important? Like,
It's important to him.
Yeah.
Though I did find one of my favorite reviews that I read about this was a Roger Ebert website thing that says it feels like a movie conceived during a drinking game. And you know what? I don't think they're wrong.
Yeah. It feels like
It's built on alcohol in some way.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make it a drinking game. I feel like you could.
Every time he chugs a grape soda, you got to chug a beer or something like
Yeah,
that.
shot a beer.
Yeah.
Shotgun a beer, actually.
There you go. It just reeks of a movie that changed dramatically when Nic Cage came on board.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Like this was a totally different thing with a different story, and they were like struggling to maybe get funding, or they couldn't really cast the people they wanted. And all of a sudden they got a call one day that said, just got a call from Nic Cage's agent. He's interested. And they were like, we'll do anything to have Nic Cage in this movie. And they might have sacrificed a lot of the story just to have Nic Cage in it. And it became just a Nic Cage vehicle.
And they might have also sacrificed a lot of effects budget too, just because, and that's why like so many of the like we were talking about the fight with the gorilla is probably the best one because it's uber bloody, and oily, whatever.
Yeah.
But also like the stuntman in that gorilla costume really fucking throws himself around.
He does, yeah.
Like, he bounces himself off urinals and shit. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get some extra padding in this head? Because I'm about to go wow.
Because Nic Cage is wailing on me right now.
He just goes ham on him. But yeah, other than that, most of the time, like when he's killing these things, he's just kind of beating them up. There's no real creativity to it.
Yeah.
Like the knight, he does cut the knight's head off, but it might have been funnier if he was able to go full Black Knight
Yeah.
and like cut his arms and legs
Oh,
off.
that would have been
And
good.
then decapitate him, and then
Yeah, some of the kills were pretty anticlimactic. It was
Right.
just like, I'm going to pound this creature's head off the wall until it's
Yeah.
mushy. You know what I mean?
yeah, and like you said, it would have been funny if like he jammed one in a pizza oven,
Yeah.
you know, but we didn't get a full costume burn.
Yeah.
That would have been fun to see too.
I think it was a trade-off because would I've probably ever seen this movie if Nic Cage wasn't in it? Probably not. But at the same time, yeah, I think this project probably changed pretty dramatically when a name got attached to it.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was fun for the most part.
Yeah.
it's still a fun watch. Nic Cage is kind of like he's like a lottery out there
Yeah.
because he will take on a lot of fucking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of it turns out bad, some of it turns out good, but he's always going to be the reason it stands out.
And he's going to sell it super fucking hard.
Yeah.
He's
you're gonna
unapologetic. I want to
Oh,
say
yeah.
as an
Yeah.
actor, you
Yeah.
know, like he doesn't need to defend being good or bad in anything.
No.
No.
I mean, it's like, I was going to ask you what I forgot to ask. I was going to ask you guys what your favorite Nic Cage movie is. Maybe, you know, excluding Mandy. I don't know. I love Mandy.
I love
Mandy's
Mandy.
my favorite for sure. Mandy's one of my favorite movies.
I
but-
don't know if I've seen like a lot of Nic Cage movies.
Yeah.
I feel like I have, but I'm like, it's nothing that's sticking out. But like, I think one of my earliest that I still really love is Raising Phoenix. You know,
Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Raising
yeah,
Phoenix,
wow.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yes, like that was like one of the earliest ones I saw when I was young, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it stuck out to
It's
me.
great.
Yeah.
I love and will defend. It's not a great movie. I get it, but it's really a fun watch for me. Is Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
I
that
don't
is
think
the
I'm familiar enough.
perfect example of like him just making crazy decisions and sticking to them as hard as you
Yes.
possibly
It's called
can.
Vampire's Kiss. I need to check
Vampire's
this
Kiss.
out. Yeah.
It's the famous scene that you've seen with like him with the crazy, like the meme with him with his super crazy wide
Yeah.
eyes, you know, and he's doing like the A, B, C, D, you know, he's
I
like
kinda
doing the whole
wanna-
alphabet.
I just want to have a conversation with him, but like this, that's just like off the cuff. Like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, he's a wild.
Like, I
mean,
don't- I just don't
he
even
buys
know-
haunted mansions all over the world
Yeah.
and shit. He's a wild dude. And I think that part of that lore is what makes me want to watch him do this
Mhm.
shit on TV. Like, if you put fucking Jonah Hill or something like that, like he's a good I get it. I don't know why I picked
He's
on
fine.
him, but
But
like
he's fine.
he's a good actor. But like, if he leaned as hard into a role like this,
Maybe Jonah Hill isn't the best choice because did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
yeah,
That's a pretty hard choice that he made.
He
in
did.
that.
He did. That was not a good example. But I'm like, if you take another actor that I don't personally have an understanding of the fact that he is a crazy guy in real life,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, you're leaning it. You know what I mean? But like the fact that I know that like Nic Cage really probably put a lot of thought into this weird decisions that he made
Yeah.
makes me appreciate them all the more, I guess.
People forget because he doesn't have the name,
Yeah.
but he's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
Yeah.
Like he grew
I
up.
didn't know that.
In the industry.
That's
yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yeah, he grew up in the industry. He knows how to act.
Yeah.
Like he, you know, but at some point he just whatever it was, he learned or matured or just got enough money and then he decided, well, I'm going to do like a big movie and then I'll do a bunch of small movies and I'm going to make my choices. And
That's a cool place to be. I feel
Yeah.
like as an actor, I feel like because I think like it can be such a cutthroat industry that I can only imagine how liberating it would be to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. Hey guys, that's the dream. I think
Yeah.
we're all trying to get there anyway in other ways.
but like not too many people are able to do that. Like with the exception of like maybe Tilda Swinton, she takes on a whole bunch of fucking crazy roles. You know,
I like her.
Yeah. What's why can't I think of his name right now? The guy who played Harvey Milk.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, I feel like is a little bit like that too.
Little bit.
Like he kind of he'll do some weird off the wall stuff.
Yeah,
And he's a pretty eccentric guy. But yeah, there's not a ton.
Yeah.
Not a ton.
yeah. Like Joaquin Phoenix is another guy.
That's definitely another
he'll,
example.
he'll do crazy fucking shit too.
Yeah. What was that movie that just came out probably within the last 4 or 5 years? that he
Joker.
did? What's that?
It's called The Joker. It's my
Not
Twitter
that one.
handle.
No, I feel like it was before that where he was just like,
Master.
no.
Her. Her.
All right,
yeah.
we're not going to go anywhere. We'll revisit this. I'll figure it out.
You were
But
never
it was
really
like a
there.
very dark. Yes, that was it.
Okay.
I really like that one. I feel like even seeing that side of him when you like, I thought that was.
I don't
cool
think I
one.
saw that one.
I didn't see it either. I always pass
I
it
would
on
definitely
Prime.
recommend it. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
I see it on Prime and I go,
He's in.
"Yeah, okay."
He's in.
Aw.
What's Ari? He's in Ari Aster's next movie, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What's
Joaquin
that?
Phoenix.
No,
He's
but,
in
like, what's the movie?
Ari Aster's next movie. It's called like.
Isn't it Midnight something? It's supposed to be a horror comedy though.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like a black comedy
Yeah.
type of thing.
That's cool.
I forget what the name of it
Makes
is, but I think it
sense.
comes out this year, next year, maybe next year.
Probably next year.
That'd be cool.
But in any case, that is Willy's Wonderland.
Woo!
I dug it. Like I said, probably not gonna buy it on Blu-ray, but I did enjoy it, and I'll watch anything with Nic Cage at least once. So
Yeah.
once again, before we close out, next week we'll come back to you with another mini-sode, and then the week after that will be our showdown episode for September. So if you want to, in the next couple of weeks, you've got a couple of weeks to watch the movies, if you haven't seen them already, that we're going to discuss, which are going to be Maniac, the 2014 or
12.
It's
16.
around, yeah, it's somewhere between like 12 and
2012
I
for Maniac.
don't think
Maniac
it's that
20
long ago. I feel like it might have been 13 or 14 though.
But it's
Oh,
the
well,
it's
whatever,
the new
whatever.
one, not the
Yes.
1980 Joe Spinell
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The one with
Find
Elijah
the one
Wood.
with the Hobbit in it.
Yeah, Wash a Hobbit one. And then I'm doing Hush from 2016, which I think is on Shudder, but it's out there. It's on Amazon Prime, it's all those
Yeah.
places. It's really good. And then Steve is doing
The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
the
from
remake,
2014. Yeah.
the 2014 remake of The Town That Dreaded Sundown, not the 1979 one or
Right.
1981 or whatever. With Mr. Giggles in it. Doesn't the original one have the guy who played Mr. or not Mr. Giggles?
I don't know.
Dr.
I didn't
Giggles.
see. I
Oh yeah,
didn't-
you never saw it.
I tell you,
It's worth a watch, but it's so weird, and it's kind of almost part of it is done like a weird police procedural
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But never mind. I'm thinking Dr. Giggles was the Scarecrow something movie. Remember when he gets in the Scarecrow? Anyway, that's a totally different movie. I'm getting two movies.
Batman
very much
Begins?
mixed. I was yes, Batman Begins. I've been up since 5:45. My brain's fucked. In any case, so anything else? Yeah, go check us out on if you haven't already. Like, subscribe. Some folks have written some really nice reviews for us
I just
on
like-
the on
I just want you
on
all to make me
iTunes.
feel so nice and like I'm like have a warm blanket around me.
They wrote some
Say
very
nice
nice things.
things
I got
about
some.
us.
say something nice. Tell me something nice. Tell me I look nice. Yes, people have wrote some very nice things and some very sweet notes to us as well in the DMs and whatnot. So if you feel so inclined to review us on iTunes or subscribe or any of those things, we very much appreciate that. Otherwise, check us out on Instagrams at Halloween is Forever. Twitter is at Hallow Forever. At Halloween is Forever podcast on Facebook, or Halloween is Forever pod at Gmail if you want to send us an email.
I got 3 quick notes.
Yeah.
One, we didn't bring up the fact that the tow truck driver is always with a Slim Jim in his mouth like a cigar.
True, that's
It's
true.
probably a
I
spicy
aspire
one
to
too.
be at that point
Yeah.
in my life.
Can we all agree that it's a spicy one
It's
too?
it's
Oh,
got
yeah.
to be a spicy one.
Yeah, he's a spicy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
Doing donuts in the parking lot.
6 Little Chickens is a fucking banger.
That was creepy. That was
Yeah.
a good creepy part. I like that.
It's another original song that
Yeah.
they wrote for that movie.
Yeah.
And 3, in the future, I'll tell you about the Nick Cage movie I worked on.
Ooh, I like it.
I would
Little
love for us to
teasy.
either do like a mini-sode all about Nick Cage or do like the best like semi-horror, like the closest we can get.
It's in our
be so
our
much
bank,
fun.
Yeah.
our pool of topics. It is
Mhm.
best Nick Cage movies is in
Oh,
there. So it could
so
come
excited.
up. It could
Could
come
come
up.
we should know
Fate
sooner. I
may
wanna
determine
know.
that.
I don't know, but I
Um,
don't want to know until we're on air.
Yeah.
Save it for the show.
I'll tell you after.
Surprise.
Damn it. Okay. Yes, I want to know.
Oh,
now.
we were gonna do that.
for the
Fuck that
audience.
Nick Cage episode. Bah, bah, bah. It's Nick, and I'll just pull a ripcord, and a bunch of balloons will fall out of the ceiling.
I legit just want like a Nick Cage cutout with like the crazy face.
Oh
like,
yeah.
amazing.
I want a Nick Cage body pillow.
Okay.
And on that note, ladies
Conversation
and gentlemen,
I'm
on
out.
that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for listening, and we'll see you next week with another mini-sode. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.